Today I would like to explain about the topic beta oxidation of fatty acid. The fatty acids in the body are mostly oxidized by beta oxidation. Beta oxidation may be defined as the oxidation of fatty acids on the beta carbon atom. This results in the sequential removal of a 2-carbon fragment known as the acetyl-CoA. We will go coming to the definition. Again, I will explain. The beta oxidation may be defined as the oxidation of fatty acids on the beta carbon atom. Hence, it is known as the beta oxidation. It results in the sequential removal of 2-carbon fragment known as the acetyl-CoA. From the lengthy fatty acid, two molecules of the carbon fragments are removing in the form of the acetyl-CoA. Coming to the steps of beta oxidation, the fatty acid oxidation, it involves the steps, the beta oxidation. The 3 steps are about, the first one is about the activation of fatty acids occurring in the cytosol. Second one is about the transport of fatty acids into mitochondria. And the third one is about the beta oxidation proper in mitochondrial matrix. Coming to the first one is about the activation of fatty acids. Activation of fatty acids is occurring in the cytosol, whereas the transport of fatty acids taking place into the mitochondrial matrix from cytosol to the mitochondria. And the third one is about the beta oxidation proper. After the transportation of fatty acids from the cytosol to the mitochondrial matrix, then beta oxidation proper can be takes place. Beta oxidation cannot take place in the cytosol because the enzymes required for the beta oxidation are present in the mitochondrial matrix. Therefore, beta oxidation of fatty acids can be takes place until the fatty acids enters into the mitochondrial matrix from the cytosol. Therefore, to carry out the beta oxidation process, initially the activation of fatty acids followed by the transportation of fatty acids into the mitochondria is required. Coming to the first step is about the activation of fatty acid into the acyl-CoA. The first step, as we discussed, is that activation of fatty acid should be takes place. That activation of fatty acid, this first step will be takes place in the cytosol. During the activation of fatty acids are activated to acyl-CoA by the enzyme known as the thiokinase, or also known as the acyl-CoA synthetases. The reaction occurs in the 2 steps, and it requires the ATP and the coenzyme known as coenzyme A and the cofactor known as the magnesium. Fatty acid react with the ATP to form acyl adenylate, which can then combines with the coenzyme to produce acyl-CoA. In the activation, 2 high-energy phosphates are utilized. Since ATP is converted to the pyrophosphate, the enzyme inorganic pyrophosphate hydrolyzes pyrophosphate to the phosphate ions. The immediate elimination of pyrophosphate makes this reaction totally irreversible. Coming to the second step, finally the activation of fatty acid results in the formation of the acyl-CoA. The second step is about the transport system. During the transport system, whatever the acyl-CoA is produced, that acyl-CoA is impermeable to the inner mitochondrial membrane. Therefore, it cannot enter into the mitochondrial matrix. Therefore, the acyl-CoA to enter into the mitochondrial matrix to carry out the beta oxidation proper, it should enter. For the entering of this acyl-CoA, it requires a transport system known as the carnitine transport system. During the carnitine transport system, it occurs in the 4 steps. The first one is about the acyl group of the acyl-CoA is transferred to the carnitine, which is catalyzed by the enzyme known as the carnitine acyl transferase 1, which is present on the outer side of the mitochondrial membrane. Coming to the second step is about the acyl carnitine, that is whatever the acyl carnitine is formed is transported across the membrane to mitochondrial matrix by a specific carrier protein. And the third step is about the acyl carnitine is whatever the carnitine acyl transferase 2, which is found on, this is the carnitine acyl transferase 2, which is found on the inner surface of the mitochondrial membrane. It converts the acyl carnitine to the acyl coenzyme A. Finally, the fourth step is about whatever the carnitine which was released, again it returns to the cytosol for the reuse of, or for we can say about the, for carrying the acyl coenzyme acyl CoA from the cytosol to the mitochondria. Like this, carnitine transport system is helpful for the carrying of the acyl CoA from the cytosol to the mitochondrial matrix. It should be noted that the coenzyme used for the activation is different from that of the finally combines with the fatty acids in the mitochondria to form coenzyme A. Thus, the cell has two separate pools of coenzyme A. Coming to the main step, here also another diagram I am representing here for the clear demarcation or about the explanation regarding the carnitine transport system. This part is about the cytosol and this is about the mitochondrial membrane, mitochondrial matrix. See the inner membrane, this is about the intermembrane space of the mitochondria. Whatever the outside of the mitochondria, which consisting of coenzyme A, this coenzyme A cannot enters into the inner membrane space, which is impermeable. Therefore, it combines with the carnitine to forms carnitine, acyl carnitine. That acyl carnitine will be enters into the inner mitochondrial membrane by the transporters, certain transporters which are present on the intermembrane space. And after entering, the carnitine will be separated or the dissociated, and again it enters from the matrix to the cytosol to carry the acyl CoA. This type of system is known as the carnitine transport system, which is taking place before the beta oxidation. Coming to the major step is about the beta oxidation proper, the third step. Each cycle of beta oxidation, before going to the beta oxidation proper, I represented here like this. You can see the beta oxidation of fatty acids, which involve the three steps. First one is about the activation, second one is about the transportation, third one is about the beta oxidation proper. Under the activation, the fatty acid is converted into the acyl CoA, which is taking place in the cytosol. In the cytosol, whatever the acyl CoA present, it should enters into the mitochondria to carry out the beta oxidation. It can enters into the mitochondria to carry out the beta oxidation by the transport system known as the carnitine transport system. Okay, now whatever the acyl CoA that enters into the mitochondria from the cytosol to carry out the beta oxidation proper. Coming about the third step known as the beta oxidation proper. The beta oxidation proper, each cycle of beta oxidation liberating a 2-carbon unit known as the acetyl CoA that occurs in a sequence of 4 reactions. First one is about the oxidation, second one is about the hydration, third one is about oxidation, and fourth one is about the cleavage. And each step can be represented with the following sequence of reactions is taking place. Coming about the first reaction known as the oxidation. Acyl CoA undergoes dehydrogenation by an FAD-dependent flavoenzyme known as the acyl CoA dehydrogenase. A double bond is formed between the alpha and the beta carbons. You can see here a double bond is formed between this is the alpha carbon and this is about the beta carbon. A double bond is formed between the alpha and the beta carbons. This is regarding the first step known as the oxidation. During the oxidation, the dehydrogenation is taking place by the enzyme known as the acyl CoA dehydrogenase, and here the FAD is converted into the FADH2 results in the formation of enoyl CoA. Coming to the second reaction known as the hydration. During the hydration, whatever the enoyl CoA which was formed in the first step of oxidation, that enoyl CoA hydratase brings about the hydration of the double bond, undergoes the hydration of the double bond to form beta hydroxy acyl CoA. You can see here the compound is known as the beta hydroxy acyl CoA, during which whatever the double bond is formed during the oxidation, that double bond gets hydrated. It can be taking place by the enzyme known as the enoyl CoA hydratase. You can see here whatever the double bond, this is the place where the double bond is in the enoyl CoA, present in the enoyl CoA, it was hydratase. That means the addition of the water molecule. During the addition of water molecule, that H2O, of which H is added here and OH is added here. Okay. H is added here in the alpha carbon and OH is added to the beta carbon. Results in the formation of beta hydroxy. Okay, that hydroxy groups is attached to the beta carbon. Results in the formation of beta hydroxy acyl CoA. And coming to the third step known as the oxidation. Again, the oxidation is taking place. In the oxidation, whatever the second step compound produced known as the beta hydroxy acyl CoA, it undergoes the dehydrogenase. Beta hydroxy acyl CoA dehydrogenase is the enzyme. It catalyzes the second oxidation. The first oxidation is the first step, whereas the second oxidation is the third step. Okay. The beta hydroxy coenzyme A dehydrogenase, this is the enzyme. Beta hydroxy acyl coenzyme A dehydrogenase is the enzyme which catalyzes the second oxidation and generates the NADH2. The product formed is known as the beta keto acyl coenzyme A. The product formed is known as the beta keto acyl coenzyme A. The second step, whatever the product formed is known as the beta hydroxy acyl CoA. To the beta hydroxy acyl CoA, again second oxidation is taking place. Okay, second oxidation is taking place by the removal of these two hydrogens. Again, the formation of the double bond, but results in the formation of the keto group only. Okay, the keto group is formed at the beta position. Hence, it is known as the beta keto. See, the two hydrogens were removed from the beta carbon and results in the formation of the keto group at the beta position. Results in the formation of beta keto acyl CoA. Okay, hence it is known as the beta oxidation, as the oxidation is taking place at the beta carbon. And coming to the fourth step known as the cleavage, or this is the final stage or the final reaction taking place in the beta oxidation. And coming to the fourth step of the cleavage, this is the final reaction is taking place. The final reaction, the beta oxidation, is the liberation of a 2-carbon fragment known as the acetyl CoA from the acyl CoA. This occurs by a thiolytic cleavage catalyzed by the enzyme known as the beta keto acyl coenzyme A thiolase or acyl CoA acyl transferase thiolase. Okay, anything is same, or simply we can say it as the enzyme is known as the thiolase. The newly formed acyl CoA, this one, okay, they are containing 2 carbons less than the original. Okay, we explained about the beta oxidation by taking an example of the fatty acid known as the palmitic acid, and the palmitic acid, the palmitoyl CoA, okay, by the addition of the coenzyme A during the first step of activation. Hence, it is known as the palmitoyl CoA. The palmitoyl CoA, it consisting of 16 carbon compound. Here it is the palmitic acid. The palmitic acid, which is having the 16 carbon compound, when it enters into the beta oxidation, it forms the parent compound again, plus the 2 molecules were less during the beta oxidation. The 2 molecules were removed in the form of the acetyl CoA. As from the 16 carbon compound, as to 2 carbon compounds are removed, results in the formation of the 14 carbon compound. That whatever this new acyl CoA, okay, whatever this compound formed is known as the new acyl CoA, containing 2 carbons less than the original. Okay, less than the original is formed, plus along with the new acyl CoA plus the acetyl CoA. How this acetyl CoA and this acyl CoA is formed? By the step known as the cleavage. The beta keto acyl coenzyme A, just it undergoes the cleavage, takes place at besides the beta carbon compound. Okay, that cleavage taking place here, and the removal of the coenzyme by the addition of the coenzyme A results in the formation of the acyl CoA, a new compound of the acyl CoA with minus of 2 carbon compound, and another compound formed is known as the acetyl CoA. Whatever this new acyl CoA which is formed, as it is containing 2 carbons less than that of the original, again it enters into the beta oxidation. Again it enters into the beta oxidation cycle. The process is continuous. Continuously it is taking place till the fatty acid is completely oxidized. For example, we are taking about an example known as the palmitic acid, which consisting of 16 carbons. Okay, the 16 carbon palmitic acid, it undergoes the beta oxidation for the complete oxidation of the carbons. Complete oxidation is taking place. Finally, results in the formation of the two molecules of acetyl-CoA. For example, C16, it is C16, first time if enters, it forms a C14 plus two molecule known as the acetyl-CoA. That cycles of this beta oxidation, it can be represented with the, here when this side one you can have, see the 16 carbon palmitic acid, it enters into the first time of beta oxidation, it forms C14 acyl-CoA plus acetyl-CoA, two compound. Again the C14 compound, again it enters into the beta oxidation to form C12 plus acetyl-CoA. And next again when the terms indicates that the cycle of beta oxidation. The C12 if enters into beta oxidation, it is degrading into the C10 and acetyl-CoA. And if C10 enters, it forms a C8 plus acetyl-CoA, and then C6 plus acetyl-CoA, and C4 plus acetyl-CoA. Finally, whatever the C4 is present, finally when it enters into the beta oxidation, it can be C, as it consisting of 4 carbon compound, it is splitting into the 2 compounds of acetyl-CoA. As we all know that acetyl-CoA consisting of two carbon moiety. Therefore, when the C4 enters into the beta oxidation, that means the acyl-CoA which consisting of 4 carbon moieties, it enters into the beta oxidation, it forms 2 molecules of acyl-CoA. Last one, finally. Okay, therefore, 16 carbon compound of the palmitic acid, if enters into the beta oxidation, it enters into the cycle of beta oxidation for 7 times for the complete oxidation of the palmitic acid taking place. Okay, results in the formation of how many acetyl-CoAs? Finally, we are getting about the 8 acetyl-CoAs. When the palmitic acid enters, again I am saying when the palmitic acid enters into the beta oxidation, suppose 7 times it is entering. We said that 16 carbon compound, when it enters into the beta oxidation, it undergoes 7 times of beta oxidation. Results in the formation of 7 acetyl-CoAs plus I told that in the last step the C4 carbon compound, it is splitting into the 2 acetyl-CoAs. Therefore 7 plus 1, that is about 8 acetyl-CoAs are synthesized. Finally, the end products of beta oxidation are about the complete, or we can say that the overall reaction of each cycle of beta oxidation is about when one acyl-CoA or about the number of fatty acid which consisting of the different carbon moieties of the acyl-CoA plus one FAD if it enters and one AD is entering, and the utilizing of the water molecule in the second step and coenzyme A. Okay, results in the formation of, finally we are getting about the acetyl-CoAs and FADH2s, FADH2 and NADH2. Okay, this is the overall reaction of the beta oxidation cycle. Coming to the oxidation of palmitoyl-CoA, as I told, the summarize of the beta oxidation of palmitoyl-CoA, it can shows that when one palmitic acid or the palmitoyl-CoA, it enters, okay, it enters along with the 7 coenzyme A, 7 FAD and 7 NADH2, NAD if enters, it results in the when palmitoyl-CoA, it undergoes the summarizing of the beta oxidation of palmitoyl-CoA is shown with that of the palmitoyl-CoA if enters along with the 7 coenzymes plus 7 NAD and 7 FAD, and finally we are getting about the 8 acetyl-CoAs. 8 acetyl-CoAs and 7 NADH2 and 7 FADH2. These are the end products of the beta oxidation of palmitic acid. The end products are 8 acetyl-CoA, 7 FADH2 and 7 NADH2. Coming to the energetics of beta oxidation, the ultimate aim of fatty acid is to generate energy. The energy obtained from the complete oxidation of palmitic acid, it can be represented in the tabular form. You can see here the beta oxidation of, as we are taking an example of palmitic acid, the beta oxidation of palmitic acid if enters, it undergoes 7 cycles of beta oxidation, results in the formation of 8 acetyl-CoAs. Okay, as we all know that one acetyl-CoA if enters into the citric acid cycle, it undergoes the oxidized by citric acid cycle. The acetyl-CoA, each acetyl-CoA can provide or generates 12 ATP. Therefore, but we are getting about 8 acetyl-CoAs. Therefore, 8 into 12 is equal to 96 ATPs are generated by the beta oxidation of palmitic acid. If enters into the beta oxidation, finally we are getting about 96 ATPs are generated, or the yield of ATP from the 8 acetyl-CoA is 96. Apart from the acetyl-CoAs, the other products also formed are about the 7-NADH2 and 7-FADH2. We know that one FADH2 is giving rise to 2 ATP molecules. We got 7 FADH2s. Therefore, 7 FADH2s, when oxidized by the electron transport chain, they are giving about to 14 ATP. 7 into 2. Okay, 7 FADH2s, each FAD is giving rise to 2 ATP. Therefore, 7 into 2 is equal to 14 ATPs are yielded. Similarly, 7 NADH2, as the 7 NADH plus H plus are synthesizing or generated, they oxidized by again the same type of FADH2 by the electron transport chain. We all know that 1 NADH plus H plus is liberating 3 ATP molecules. Okay, as 7 NADH plus H plus are generating this, therefore 7 into 3 is equal to 21 ATPs are generated. Okay, therefore totally from FADH2 and NADH plus H plus we are getting about 35 ATPs, and from 8 acetyl-CoAs where the generation is about to 96 ATPs. Totally therefore 35 plus 96 is equal to total energy from one molecule of palmitoyl-CoA is generating 131 ATPs. But during the first step of activation, the energy utilized, okay, the first step of activation we can see here. Okay, during the first step of activation, 2 ATP molecules are utilized. See, 1 ATP is equal to ADP plus pyrophosphate plus AMP. Therefore, two ATP molecules are utilized for the activation of fatty acid molecule. Therefore, the energy utilized for the activation is equal to -2. Therefore, 131 minus 2 is equal to 129 ATP. Therefore, one palmitic acid, if undergoes the beta oxidation, then the net yield of one molecule of palmitic acid, the oxidation is equal to 129 ATPs are the generated. This is the calculation as per the old calculation of ATPs and acetyl-CoAs. As per the new calculation, we can also see that 8 acetyl-CoAs when enters into the TCA cycle or the citric acid cycle, it generates 80 ATP. That means one acetyl-CoA is giving rise to 10 ATPs. Therefore, finally, we are getting about 80 ATP. As per the old calculation, it is about the 12 ATPs and 96 ATPs are generated. And coming to the 7 NADH2 and 7 FADH2, it is generating 28 ATP. But whereas for the old calculation, it is about 35 ATPs are generated. That means one NADH2 as per the old calculation, that one NADH2 is liberating 3 ATPs. But as per the new calculation, one NADH2 is generating 2.5 ATP. Similarly, one FADH2 is giving rise to or gives 2 ATP as per the old calculation, and as per the new calculation, one FADH2 is giving rise to 1.5 ATP. Therefore, as per the old calculation, we are getting about 35 ATP from the NADH2 and FADH2, whereas from the new calculation, we are getting about 28 ATP. Therefore, 28 plus 80 is equal to 108 ATPs are generated by the beta oxidation. Out of 108, 2 molecules are utilized for the activation. Therefore, finally, we are getting about 106 ATPs are generated as per the new calculation. This is regarding the beta oxidation. Just I will revise the beta oxidation. Beta oxidation is defined as the oxidation of fatty acids on the beta carbon atom, and it is a sequential removal of the 2 carbon fragment molecule known as the acetyl-CoA. The steps involved are about the oxidation, beta oxidation are about activation of fatty acid. This activation of fatty acid is taking place in the cytosol, and whatever that activated fatty acid, it can be transported to the mitochondria by the specialized transport system known as the carnitine transport system. And whatever the activated fatty acid enters into the mitochondrial matrix, then it undergoes the third step known as the beta oxidation proper. Coming to the first step known as the activation of fatty acid. The fatty acid gets activated into the acyl-CoA by the enzyme known as the thiokinase, and 2 molecules of ATP are generated. The 2 ATPs are utilized. And next one is about whatever the acyl-CoA which was produced by the activation of fatty acid, it can be transported through the system known as the carnitine transport system, where the carnitine aminotransferase 1 and carnitine aminotransferase 2, these are the two specialized enzymes, are involved in the transportation of acyl-CoA from the cytosol to the mitochondrial matrix. Whatever the acyl-CoA that enters into the mitochondrial matrix, then it undergoes the beta oxidation proper. The beta oxidation proper, it involves, or it consisting of the 4 sequence of reactions, of which 2 are oxidation and 1 hydration, and 4th one is about the cleavage. Coming to the first oxidation reaction, where the palmitic, we are taking an example of palmitic acid which consisting of 16 carbon compound. The palmitic acid, it undergoes the oxidation between the alpha and the beta carbon, results in the formation of the double bond is formed, results in the compound known as the enoyl-CoA. Here it is catalyzed by the enzyme known as the acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, where FAD is converted to FADH2. Coming to the second reaction known as the hydration. Hydration of enoyl-CoA is taking place by the enzyme known as the enoyl-CoA hydratase, where the water molecule gets attaches, in which hydroxyl group is attached to the beta carbon. Results in the formation of a compound known as the beta hydroxy acyl-CoA. Then the beta hydroxy acyl-CoA, again it undergoes the second oxidation, where the 2 hydrogens are removed from the beta carbon, results in the formation of the keto group is formed at the beta position. Hence the compound formed is known as the beta keto acyl-CoA. And the 4th step is known as the cleavage. During the cleavage, the whatever the compound present, it gets cleaved by the enzyme known as the thiolase, results in the formation of a fatty acyl molecule with the -2 carbon, and the second compound formed is known as the acetyl-CoA, which is about the 2 carbon fragment. In the definition only, I told that the beta oxidation result in the formation of a compound plus the or 2 less carbon compound known as acetyl-CoA is releasing. As we have taken the example of palmitic acid, it enters into the beta oxidation 7 times to completely degradation of the fatty acid, results in the products known as the 8 acetyl-CoAs are synthesized, 8 acetyl-CoAs and 7 NADH2 and 7 FADH2 are produced. The 8 acetyl-CoAs which are produced, it enters into the TCA cycle and generates the ATP. Similarly, NADH2 and FADH2, they enters into the, or they are oxidized by the electron transport chain, they also generates the ATP. Finally, we are getting about 131 ATP are generated by the beta oxidation of palmitic acid, of which 2 ATP molecules are utilized for the activation. Here one point I can say that whenever the fatty acid enters into the first step known as the activation, then transportation, then the third step known as the beta oxidation. When one cycle of beta oxidation is completed, again there is no need to start from the activation. Okay, once it enters into the mitochondrial matrix, then it continues the beta oxidation only. Therefore, only once activation of fatty acid is taking place, once it gets activated and enters into the mitochondrial matrix, it continues only the beta oxidation. Therefore, only 2 ATP molecules are utilized for the activation, even though it undergoes 7 times of beta oxidation.